live.
Lenny, you coming?
Yeah, just sit right in front of you with your back.
So weird. Yeah, I know. Like, it's kind of rude.
Did you all come in first?
I was 49th in my age division out of 56, so not last.
Just bring it to the heat.
Sounds like first place.
All right.
Our walking was very long. We're not rushing.
That sounds great.
It was fun.
Well, we were at a park and I got a sunburn.
Ooh. It's like a softball tournament.
Got my watch tan lamp started early. It looked like a lot of fun though.
It was fun. Yesterday, kind of like, Saturday was great. Sunday was like too many adult activities.
Yeah.
Kids stuff.
Did you drive back today?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You exhausted?
Yeah, but I'm pretending.
Yeah.
Where do you drive back from?
From Napa.
Oh.
We walked it, but yeah.
Ooh.
Were you there? Did you do it? Oh,
Okay.
So,
it's fun. It's a really fun event. So, yeah.
And Monday there's like no traffic. But yeah, if you look at Mike, you'll see he's probably.
So energetic.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, you are. I am. I just want to spry to pick me up.
I'll let me tell you.
27.
Okay.
26. Well done. I remember.
Never mind. Just stop.
Hey, hello everyone. We're gonna get started 6 o'clock. If you guys haven't signed in, please do so. Okay, so we need a first and a second motion for the April minutes, please. Please look this over, see if we missed anything. Okay, Shelby's motioning first. Can I get a second? Thank you. Ashley is second. Next up, we're going to move on to announcements and upcoming events. We have Tour of the Town Mod Pizza on, who is that, this Sunday? Yes, this Sunday, the 18th. Flyers should have already gone out. You should be getting those. Family dance we have next week on Thursday. We're going to do a blacklight party. So everything will kind of be neon colors and bright. And we'll have a DJ that was donated. Same DJ as last year, sounds like. So we have that going on. Then we have Roundabout Books, May 28th through 30th.
Yeah, I can give the hours and actually I can ask Jesse and Rebecca a question.
Oh.
Not to interrupt your conversation.
Okay.
I was just noticing it's not scholastic. I love that's really cool.
Yes, we're trying out the local bookstores, so we won't be able to get books, but we'll get 15% of sales. And you can use them. So I just wanted to check in about Wednesday and Spanish testing. Are we all good there?
I think did Ariana said she spoke to you on Friday and that everything was good. I don't know.
So she spoke to me. Oh, this is like a whole crazy. Did you get the? So I tried to wrap everybody into an email that kind of clarified. So we are supposed to do setup from 8 to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, but I said like if you guys are testing out here, we can set up in the other half that you guys aren't testing in, and then if we do afterwards, we can kind of spread back out, or we'll figure it out. We'll work around your guys' testing stuff if that is what needs to happen. So I just wanted to make sure.
We would be testing out in this
Just right here.
area.
And she said like 3 tables.
Yeah.
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 I think that'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a question of like distraction.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking if we, is it the same? Is it as big a setup as like the other book fairs?
It's just like it'll be flat on the tables.
Yeah, we're just utilizing these tables. We're not bringing in the big shelving.
Okay.
And Roundabout Books employees are actually coming in to help set up and then train us on the thing. So I think that we can like step aside with them and just be like, hey, we're going to be super duper quiet. We're going to be over here as much as we can.
We can also set you up in the conference room, so you just have some space where you can talk at full volume.
Okay, great.
Not interrupt.
Yeah.
So that testing is benchmark testing for our DI students, and it's typically out here in the media center, pulling students and doing like a reading passage with the students to see how they're doing.
Okay.
It's 1 minute time
1 minute
test.
per
So
student.
any little distraction, and
Yes.
little kids are distractible. But we can, I think that.
I think we can figure something.
Yeah.
I think it would be helpful if we put like these.
Yeah, if we blocked off we
Yeah,
can,
maybe-
The best
Okay.
we can, yeah.
Yeah.
we can
Okay.
figure it out.
Yeah.
It should be okay.
I mean, we could also talk to Roundabout and see if they'd be willing to come in a little bit later.
Yeah.
To set up, and then we just push our hours back on Wednesday a little bit.
Just let us know is what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the plan is set up 8 to 10, open at 10 till
I think 1:30.
1:30. And then Thursday we'll have it open 8 to 3, and then 5:30 to 7 for the art walk, and then Friday 8. And then over the weekend, people can shop online or in store and mention Jewel and still get 15% go towards it.
After that, we have Spirit Week, June 2nd through 6th. The first day will be Twin Day. Then we have Hair Day, Sports Day, Pajama Stuffy Day, and then Swag Day will be on Friday. Since this is our last meeting, we have a lot of birthdays to go through. So for May through August, we have Katie, Kylie, actually her birthday was just yesterday, Jennifer Marriott, Eric, Jesse. That's actually kind of impressive that both of your birthdays, Jesse, are right after each other.
Yeah, we find that out.
Sure. Kaya, Melanie, Stacy, Lauren, Ariana, Tammy, Jill Johnson, and Julie. Let's see. Next up, we have volunteer opportunities. So May 22nd, like I said, next Thursday will be the family dance. I'm not sure. I think we only need a couple of volunteers just as far as like setup goes and takedown. And then book fair, we'll have something come out to you guys to sign up for book fair as well. Financial audit, we have not received anybody to offer to do a financial audit. So it's required every year that somebody, at least one person, steps up and just kind of takes a look, kind of make sure everything is correct and that we're not missing anything. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. Essentially, that would be more so like the middle of June that would happen, just because we kind of still have a little bit kind of trickling for the end of the year.
Jessica. I can help with that, but I wouldn't want to be the only one since Elena's the treasurer.
Right.
So, yeah,
Okay.
I can help,
Okay.
but I definitely wouldn't want to be the
Right.
sole person to do it. I think that'd be
Let me touch base with you on that because that would be great. And then let me check the bylaws as well, just to make sure that there's no like conflict with that. But that would be amazing. Thank you. Next up, we have the treasurer report with Elena.
All right. So, hello, everyone. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet for you. We're going to run through our financials by event. So how it's lined up here is you have your expenses and your income, but we're just going to go by event tonight. We're going to start off with MCT in April. This is all just April. So just so you know, this is all we're looking at April here and then year to date for the end of April. So for MCT, it was a super fun week of theater for the kiddos. We spent $3,700 on the residency, so having people come out, which is $100 more than last year. We spent about $700 on fundraising supplies and support for the event. So that extra chunk covered snacks for the kids, rehearsals, items for concessions, some nice thank you gifts for the actors who traveled out to us and worked with the students. And then we also bought some t-shirts for the hardworking teachers who were making sure that it happened every day and worked with the kids also. So our current expense for MCT is about $4,400. We brought in $2,164.75 in income. So obviously we didn't fully cover our costs there, but that's okay. Last year they didn't cover all their costs either. But one thing that they did do in the past is they brought in, or they had a corporate sponsor that gave over a big chunk of money towards the event. And this year we didn't really focus on grabbing that big sponsor. So we did not have a corporate sponsor this year. So I think next year we'll try to push for getting that corporate sponsor more. So we're a little bit closer to breaking even. We also had our artist in residency make our final payment there. So the total cost for the artist in residency, which was these amazing murals. They're so amazing. And I've had kids come up to me while I was volunteering in the school and be like, let me show you exactly what I painted. They're so proud. It's so great. But that was about $4,000. It was $3,911.92 exactly, but I think it was definitely worth it. It's just, they're so great. Jewel Jumble, this one's fun. Our expenses for the jumble came in at $800.86.70. Currently, we do have a couple small items still that we're funding for the teachers. This is all about giving the students access to elective style classes and having fun with that. And so the PTO fully funds that. And it's, again, one of those special projects that it's why we do the big fundraisers like Mini Mutter and the Carnival, so that we can fund all these, like the murals and jumble and all that stuff. So I think it's so great for the kids. It makes school so much more engaging and fun. So that's that for jumble. We budgeted for about $2,000 in expenses for jumble. So we're way under budget on jumble, we're great. Movie and Lotteria night, if I'm saying that so wrong, I'm so sorry. We spent $254 mainly on concession supplies. We brought in about $238, so we didn't quite break even there, but pretty close. Turnout was a little bit lower than we had hoped for, and we think spring sports definitely hindered attendance on this event. There's a lot of baseball events happening. So I think for me, like moving forward for next year, I was thinking like, let's try to get it into that winter section where it's a lot of kids are in between sports. If we can maybe pencil it in there, we might have a better turnout. So, and then we have tour of the town, which was great. It was such a fun win. We brought in $975 from Fire on the Mountain. So yay for everybody and their wings. It was a great event and easy for us. We only spent $2 on the flyers we sent home. And we also got an invite from Fire on the Mountain to do it again with them. And then also if there was any type of like catering event we wanted to do or get food for the teachers, they would be happy to give us a discount. So they seemed really happy with it too. And then school swag sales. In April, we brought in about $600, most of it during parent-teacher conferences. So that was great. And then just looking ahead with everything taking into an account with upcoming expenditures, things that maybe might get voted on tonight, I think we might end the year with about $48,000 in our PTO checking account, which I think is a solid place for us and room to plan for next year's goals and projects. So it's looking pretty good.
Selena?
Any questions? No?
Next up, we have Mr. Rasmussen.
First, let me just thank everybody on the PTO and all the work that you guys did for Teacher Appreciation Week. You showered the teachers with snacks and activities and fun things, and it was very, very appreciated. So thank you for all the work that went into that, the thoughtfulness. They loved the cart that came around. They loved the fact that things in this staff lounge were exact treats that they liked that were that was very appreciated. So thank you for all the things and the effort and the work and the money and the resources that went into that. Couple upcoming dates. We have kinder orientation coming up on May 20th. That's for new kindergartners, incoming kindergartners who aren't with us yet. So we have some information going out. The district has been sharing information. I think even the news maybe has, and it's at different schools, different dates. May 20th. We have the art fair coming up, which I think we mentioned a little bit earlier, but on May 29th. And that's going to be from 5:30 to 7. This is a tradition that we've had for 18 years or something like that, 19 years. It's been for a long time. We aren't an art-focused school, but if you look around anywhere, you'll see art everywhere. And it's really a chance for us to highlight all the great work that the students are doing. Some years we have like a scavenger hunt where the kids try to find different things and get stamps and to show that they found all the different items. It's a great chance for us to highlight and show off the mural that the kids did. It's a very fun community event. When we were at Title School, just in the near past last year, this was a title event that we used title funds to pay for food for the kids to enjoy. And there was an opportunity for us to talk about and share about what it means to be a title school. Now that we're not a title school anymore, that it's not a thing, and it's not something that we're needing to do for title, but it's still a community building event that we want to do. So that's coming up. We hope you'll join us on May 29th. And then I can't believe it, but we're almost to the end of the year. So we have kind of last end of the year kind of information. June 4th is the last early release Wednesday. So that's the last day that will be that regular Wednesday early release schedule. Then June 11th, which is the following Wednesday, is a full day. And then June 12th is the last day of school, and that is a 12:45 release. So that's the kind of the Wednesday type schedule, but it's actually on Thursday. So kids are done at 12:45. We do a big wave off for the kids who are on the bus ready. They'll come back again on the Friday to finish packing up their rooms and get furniture to the side so we can clean the carpets and stuff over the summer. June, last day of school. Quick update for everybody on the sound system for the gym. The PTO donated $4,000 towards that. Together with the school, we were able to purchase a new system for the gym. We've already asked for it. We got the final quote. We're going to end up having 2 large speakers on this end of the gym. They'll tie in with the 2 speakers that are already on this end of the gym. And so we'll have actual surround sound, which will mean we don't have to have the volume quite as loud, so that you can hear from both sides. Of course, there'll be nice new updated speakers, will be really nice. We also were able to get 2 wireless mics that we can use for assemblies and events and that kind of thing. And then we're also getting 2 headset mics that we can use for events that we do like team time, things like that, which require a lot more movement and need your hands free and that kind of thing. And the receiver for those to all send the message, all the different ins and outs of wiring and installation. So our hope is that that goes in maybe June, but it won't probably be ready for us to use until the start of the next school year. But that can always change. I was just talking to Teresa, our tech person. She's like, yeah, sometimes I'll just install something and I show up and it's suddenly installed. So there is a potential that because I think it's not Stoner Electronics. Stoner, is that the right name? Okay. So Stoner is installing it and they don't operate on a school schedule. And so they may be like, hey, we're available in 3 days. And so then they may install it without checking in with our schedule, which is fine. Or we'd be happy to have it in there, which would be kind of exciting. So quick update on that. And then I think it was last meeting we talked about and the PTO approved a water station for right outside the gym there. Some good news, we have some green team funds that we needed to use. And so we actually are not going to need to use the funds that you guys had set aside for us for that. So we'll give that back to you guys. Instead, we're able to use the green team funds to do a water station there. Same style that we were going to have you guys help us pay for. But we're doing one there and one in the activity room, which is the 4th and 5th grade hall. That has been an area where we have no way for the kids to get water aside from a little water fountain that doesn't work very well. And so we'll have now one here for the 1st grade and 2nd grade kids to go and get water from a filling station. We'll have one in the activity room for 4th and 5th grade to get water. And then kindergarten and 3rd grade can get water from the current one that we have down in the kindergarten hall. So now we'll have water stations throughout the building for all the kids, which is going to be really nice, and for the adults on staff as well. Questions?
Jesse, do you know here? Do we
No.
have a-
Yeah, Rebecca is standing in for her.
Bear with me though. First of all, just a lot of appreciation and love for Teacher Appreciation Week again. Oh, that was really awesome. And then I think that's all I have from that. But when we presented the 2 proposals for artist in residence.
Sorry, we'll do that in a little bit. Okay. Sorry. I should have told you that.
That's okay. So I'm done.
Okay, you're good. That was nice and easy. Next up, we have Playground Renee.
Yeah, so our next meeting, Wednesday, May 28th at 5 at the library downtown or on Zoom. So if you'd like more specifics of the Zoom, just email PTO. And then I just wanted to apologize. I think last month I said we could continue fundraising until August. That's incorrect. We're on our fundraising pause now. So the committee has been in close contact, as close as we can, contact with the district and with Jesse, and we're going to keep our foot and advocacy in the door there. And over the summer, the plan is to just do research and have donation letters prepped and grants, grants identified and big funders identified so that we can be ready whenever the new policy is done and we can continue. That probably will be in 2026.
Can you repeat the where, when, and where?
Yes. May 28th, Wednesday, 5 p.m. at the downtown library. Downtown. Or by Zoom. You can do it hybrid. Any questions on the playground committee before I say to other things? Yes.
So is the district still, are we still on hold just because they wanted, if we were to, if we, let's say we fundraised $100,000 to buy one, are they holding off because they want to see where it's the most equitable to use those funds, or could we?
As far as I know, they're redoing their policy, so like, they don't want us to fundraise and then they come out with a policy where we won't be able to put in the playground. Just as in like an example.
Got it.
Or like maybe the money will be split and we had a big donor donate and they ended up that type of thing. Does that seem further in that mic?
Yeah, I mean, I guess to kind of expand on it, it's primarily the district and their policies on how they take their money. Like, they've now all of a sudden started to see really large capital projects starting to get spun up by PTAs, PTOs, and so I had them relook at, hey, when we get $400,000, $300,000, are there any things that we need to consider for taxes and all those other things that they just haven't reviewed in a long time. And so now that they're receiving these potential large donations, they need to make sure that they're looking at it correctly, that they have policies in place to receive such donations. So,
And then the kind of the confusion about the funding like deadline thing is, if let's say our project had $900,000 and we were able to actually use, like we'd already done all the fundraising and we're at the point of, we were already talking with the contractor and we were ready to move forward. The date that they had given us was, if we'd had the funds, that would be the time we would have to start the project by then. But if we don't have the funds, then the pause is like, no, we're not raising any more, but people who had already raised all the money were basically good to go, would then have been able to start. Is that accurate? Is that kind of what you understood too?
Yeah, I misread it, I think, the first time, and that was just hopeful, optimistic, so, yeah, thank you. Okay, one more thing on teacher appreciation, thank you to all the parents who donated, and we had a lot of extras, so we're going to try and do another lunch early June for teachers again, so that will be fun. And then mini mutter for the fall. Ordering the water bottles is to avoid like a rush fee. Getting those ordered early, if we can have a sponsor, it's really helpful. So last year, including shipping that wasn't rushed, they were $6.50. So if you are interested in sponsoring, or if you know a business or someone who's interested, please let us know.
Next up, we have an unfinished business. I'm going to go back to the mascot. That'll be Elena showing the pictures. We chose a website, and I think we have
We have
different
four
ones.
options, so those, hang on. Oh, just kidding. We're gonna pull up hang on, I gotta. So these are the first three, and that's the fourth one.
So essentially, they come, I was making sure that this is a legit company because they come from France, I guess. Anywho, they've just got thousands of different ones on there.
Yeah.
So it's wild. So essentially, it would be one of these four. We could choose options of, like this one comes with glasses. The other ones come with shirts if you want to purchase those. But Kylie Jagger actually found this website. I think they're fun. So we'll vote for option 1 through 4, and we'll get that coming.
Can you read the prices?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, so option.
Sorry, are we looking at option 4?
Yeah, that's fine. So option 4 is $942.08.
Does he only come with glasses? Is there option?
Yes. So we'll purchase, because we already approved $2,000. So we'll get like a A fan will be included, well, that we would purchase with this. A fan, we'd get like a carrying case for it. There's like feet that come with it instead of just like senior shoes that we would put in there. So roughly we'd be around $1,500 total. So option 3, $944.18. Option 2 is $955.43, and then option 1 is $932.92. So they'll roughly, like I said, be around the $1,500 mark.
Do you think, since the teachers are gonna be the ones wearing this most often, do you think maybe doing a teacher poll would be good for us to spend money, or?
So I've already talked with quite a bit of teachers. They don't really have a preference of which one we do. They're very, very excited from my understanding. And we have a lot of people that are wanting to be inside of the costume, which is pretty impressive.
Have you met this guy? Yeah.
So we'll vote for, okay, so I guess if you want option 1, raise your hands.
Sorry, one quick question.
Oh, yeah.
The option 3, is the hat something that we can customize, or is that,
Thank you for touching on that. Yes, it is. And I was actually talking with the future board people for next year. I think it would be cool. There's an option to like put a name on him. And we're at the end of the school year and I don't really know how we would make that happen. So I thought for like mini money, it'd be kind of cool to like have that as a prize. Like the top like 3 people that like raise the most money can like name him, or I don't know, just something fun for the kids. But yeah, so I didn't necessarily want to get a lot of clothes because we can order the clothes later with his name on it. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
But yes, we can do whatever we want.
I think they're all adorable. I don't have a strong preference. I'm wondering if our student board or teachers, if you guys have a preference. I don't know if you're leaning one way or the other. They're all adorable.
What might be engaging is to form the students, let them decide what they want for their mascot.
Is there an assembly, Jesse?
there is
Between
one
them.
more assembly, the last Wednesday of the month. Yeah, the 28th.
Is that something that you could show them that we could fit in and just kind of do like a raise of hands, like which one they prefer?
Yeah, we could figure out something.
If you're gonna have kids vote, I would suggest narrowing it down to 2.
That's what
I
I'm
was
saying.
just-
Let's go.
So we might have to do the voting in the classroom. Yes.
Yeah.
Just,
We were just showing the options and maybe send out a PowerPoint, but yeah, we can figure out a way to, the logistics are something that we can figure out.
I can just send you guys this.
We're fine. As of right now, the deliveries show like the end of May. We'll be fine as far as when it gets delivered.
Yep.
Well, I mean, so we wouldn't have to wait until the assembly, because the logistics of trying to count votes in the assembly is not gonna work. So what we would probably do is if we narrowed it down to 2, and then you sent me the pictures, then I send that out to the teachers and ask, can you guys please survey the students and let us know which option of the 2, and we could have that done fairly.
I was just thinking, because y'all won't be here, so getting it delivered, we're not doing the vote until the 28th.
Yeah, well, I'm
June. So
here
it-
till through June, and then we're
Yeah.
back again. Yeah.
Does option 2 have the scores?
Do any of the mascots have a tail besides the second one?
So these pictures are the only pictures that
Just bring up
you
American
have.
players that tail's gonna be.
That tail's gonna be a trip hazard.
There's a lot.
I don't think so.
Some kids are yanking on it.
Stepping on it.
Are we narrowing it down now?
I like to.
So
Me too.
I would've voted- I would've
The
voted
tail.
for it.
let me see, hang on, if I can.
I like the
There,
whiskers.
Elena,
I think
there aren't
option
any other
1
pictures. It's just the one for.
Yeah, but she was asking about whiskers for this one, and I don't believe
It
so.
doesn't have whiskers.
Yeah. So,
Ask
Like,
me
absolutely not.
questions, you guys.
We're here for the important stuff.
right?
100%.
I like having the option because these three are orange and the other one's brown. So I think it'd be cool to have a brown one to offer them and then choose an orange one.
And then we could add a shirt.
Yeah.
So one of these and then the brown one, you think?
Do we?
Are the glasses on the brown one, those are an accessory that we would,
No.
that
Well,
is included?
It is, so it's included for a price, whatever's on them is included for like $22 or something like that. However, with these ones that don't have the glasses, you can choose for them to have glasses.
Okay.
So we could have option 4 without glasses.
Elena, can you
Yes.
see option 3?
Yes.
With what?
Is there a fee for option 3?
There is not. So those pictures are the only pictures. And that was my question too. I was like, what are we looking at for the bottom half of that? Is it just pants? Do we have legs? Like what's happening? I don't know.
Yeah. I agree.
Does everybody agree 1 and 4?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay. Jesse, I'll send that to you later on tonight.
Perfect.
For you to know. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to present that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, next up we have the printer. So back a couple months ago, well, gosh, it's been longer than that. Back at the beginning of the year, Elise had mentioned about buying a printer for us to do printing needs. Elena's got some stuff pulled up.
So like you said, in December, we came together and we voted to purchase a printer for the PTO, but that was kind of it. There wasn't a specific printer picked out. There wasn't any more information. So I wanted to come back and bring more information to you guys and let you guys see the options that we're looking at and pick the printer. If anybody has experience with either one of these brands. So both of these printers were recommended to us by the schools, like the school district's IT department. So they're both going to work well for the school. They both fit into the assigned space that we have set up for the printer, which we've worked with Jesse and figured that out. We measured and everything. So we have the HP LaserJet. We have the Brother. So the quick comparison is the prices are really similar. They're both single function color laser printers. They have wireless, USB, and mobile connectivity. They're automatics, like double-sided printing. They each use 4 toner cartridges, a black, a cyan, a magenta, and a yellow. The HP toner is $74 to $88. The Brother is they're like, here's our cost for except the high yield is a little bit more expensive, which we'd probably go with a high yield cartridge. They both will do multiple size on the printing abilities, so they can print on larger pieces of paper. I think legal was the largest size, but they could also print on envelopes. They could print on random sizes of paper. The print speed on the Brother is slower, but the recommended volume on the Brother is more, just by a little bit. They both have the same year in warranties. The Brother got a little bit higher Amazon rating than the HP. I think the biggest difference between the two is the print resolution. On the HP, you're going to see a 600 DPI, which is the dots per inch, and you've got a 24. So you're going to see a much crisper print image on the Brother printer. But again, it's a little tiny bit slower. So I don't know. They're really, really similar. The Brother's a little bit cheaper. I think, yeah, it's a printer.
If you had to choose one.
I'd go with the Brother, just because of the print resolution.
Does everybody else agree? Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's get the Brother one then.
Okay.
Thanks for doing that, Elena.
Yeah.
Next up, we have new business, PTO cabinets. We were presented from Darren to get cabinets like these ones that would essentially go. You guys can't quite see, but right where the thing is, go right here.
Jill.
We'll go on the other side as well. And we have the option of having, like the spacers in them, or no spacers. And essentially, I think, as well as other people think, we just have upstairs right now in the PE room, and it's super hard to get like big boxes up there. Like
When you say upstairs, it's very.
I mean, it is very kind. Yeah, it's just hard to get things up there. I've been storing all the merchandise this whole year at my commercial lot, because the boxes just won't fit up there and there's just not enough room up there. And so Darren had presented that to me, and said that it would cost, I think it's just under $2,300, for us to get those, and essentially we could put whatever we want, merchandise in there. We've got some bigger things from Carnival that were created by Casey Lamont, that we could store in there. It would just be nice to have more storage.
You guys want to see what?
Yeah.
So this is essentially it's a little bit deeper because of the space. It's basically like an end cap on the current. Right now we have almost full wall partitions like these that are screwed into place to block the view from what's in there. But it would be, these sills are optional. They manufacture it in district, so we have carpenters that build them. And we have ones for grade levels that have science curriculum and that kind of thing and different resources in them. Essentially, it would be just 2 units for you guys to have. You could use it as you wished. You could fill them completely. You could have almost nothing in them, and it could change based on the needs and that kind of thing. They can. These ones don't, but ones down there do.
Can I get to discuss this further? If you have questions, and get a first and a second motion to discuss and to vote on it. First, second, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? We can do the walking. Is it? Do you know if it's more expensive?
No, if it is, it's minimal. It's almost nothing.
Okay.
It'd be like $10 maybe.
Yeah, yeah, so there'd be 2 of them. So 20, it was just under, I don't have the paper, Darren emailed me, but it was like just under $2,300 is what it was. Can I get a first motion to approve? Thank you. Can I get a second?
You're supposed to be raise your hand at the same time.
Perfect. Okay, next up we have Jesse with our fair.
You didn't vote.
Oh,
You
sorry.
just did the first and second, yeah.
Yeah. All in favor, raise your hands. Thanks. All opposed, raise your hands. Motion approved. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we go through. Next up, art fair. We have Jesse.
So Mr. Peterson wasn't able to be here. He has family engagements. But he put together a proposal. Mr. Peterson and Mrs. Erickson have been here and kind of seen the art fair process from the beginning all the way through. He was explaining, and I didn't realize this, but he was explaining that years and years and years ago, the PTO and the title funds were combined together to help kind of fund the evening event. We then pared it down as we got closer to COVID, and then after COVID, we really pared it down. Where it was only title funds that were being used, and it was around $400 or so to get simple food, refreshments, and that kind of thing. So his proposal, he's asking to kind of go back towards having it be a nicer family event. He's asking for $1,000 to provide food for the art fair and doing a barbecue. He'd like to get burgers, buns, dogs, plates, chips, drink mix, condiments, cups, and side dishes. And then kind of his note it said, we would like to reward families with a free meal during art fair to kind of wrap up the school year. His plan is to go and do the shopping at United Grocery or Costco, maybe a combination of the 2. This is a passion of his, cooking and providing food and barbecuing and that kind of thing. So we can, I think for almost no fee at all, we can have barbecues brought in by the district, 3 or 4, and he uses those with other volunteers to cook all the food. and then provide that. And now that we have kind of that entry area by the cafeteria, then that's a really nice area to barbecue. It's open air, that kind of thing. It used to be back behind the gym, and you were kind of hidden. Now you could actually be seen, talk with families, that kind of thing. He's very excited about that. So he's asking for $1,000 to provide food, as much food as people can eat until we run out.
Can I get a first and second motion? Talk about it. Vote. Shelby, can I get a second? Ashley? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand.
Okay, but it's sort of a side note, but how does getting the barbecues work? Like, how much time is needed? Do you do it, or how do we get this?
Oh, good question. You mean through the district?
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of time is needed. It probably depends on whether it's a popular day and other schools have requested it. It's a request that we send in, and then they drop it off for us. They deliver it. And they usually deliver it, I think, the day before, and then we store it and then pull it out and use it. And I think it's just a regular propane grill, but I think it's just a request that we put in. Yeah.
Do you need to run that event?
Staff or volunteers?
Well, volunteers or staff. How many
Um,
people were needed to do the?
Ashley, yeah. if you want to-
used to have like 3 people manning the buses.
Do you think that's obtainable?
Yes.
And then there were a ton of teachers that ran this every line, like to get
Yeah, we typically have like 2 waves of people that come through, and so like work crew A and work crew B that come in and do the different things and kind of run it.
Is this something that we'll need to find volunteers for?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll double check with Cody, but I think this has been on everybody's radar as this is an event that we put on.
Any other questions?
Just a side note, but Fran's will donate hamburger buns and hot dog buns. It's just a form you have to like fill out, right?
I actually just brought a letter.
Okay.
They're very generous. She said
Yeah.
they're very generous.
They were willing to donate us like 700 packages when we were like, no,
Yeah.
we needed 700 just buns. And she was like, no, 700 packages. It was like, so they're very generous. Yeah.
I don't know if you would do that or
Oh, I'm
not. I
sure
can send them
you-
a letter I have written up and change the names if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So let's say he buys stuff for like 1,000 people and they end up cooking for 500. Is there that many people come through? Do we have a plan for the leftover food or donation to the food bank or something like that?
Great question. I don't know we've ever had that problem.
Okay, it's always been.
I think we've always, I think we basically serve food until it's out, and we usually run out by about half an hour before the event closes. But that's something to keep in mind. I'll think about that and ask Cody if there's a kind of contingency.
They're good to kind of piggyback off of what you said. It sounds like you guys want to do the teacher thing again, the barbecue out there. So that could be an option, maybe using, if he's willing to use that extra stuff for the teachers again, for another barbecue.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Well, and the fact that the PTO would be donating the money, then it might be something that if we are able, as PTO, able to save that for another event, another time, that might be something. I don't know what you guys have available for storing, but that might be something to think about, that it doesn't just go to waste, it could actually be.
Sorry, one last thing. We have a lot of condoms already, like the little tiny.
Oh, the packets. Yeah, we could use that too. So he doesn't, yeah,
And someone said that you guys have some hot dogs left over as well, so that might be something.
a little bit. Yeah.
I think that's all.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Next up, we have the Beach Children Theater. Sorry, I added a couple of things last minute. Go ahead, Rebecca.
So when we talked, we have a artist in residence committee that's looking to bring some more art and culture to our school. And we had narrowed it down to the 2 artist in residence proposals for this year. So it was the murals, some residencies as well. So we obviously chose the murals for this year. And so we would like to propose the other one for next year. So it's the exact same proposal, just now for next year. And it would involve, so it would be for K-5. There are bilingual sessions as well. So that was what the big draw was for this one, that we could have a bilingual option. And it's a theater skills-based exploration of words and how we present them. So the idea is not to do something so similar to what like MCT does, but what this would do is and I think it would be so great. We've talked this over in the early grades, because a lot of times the little kids, when MCT comes around, the little ones don't know what an audition is, don't really know what theater is or act, so they go over some of that with the kids, and they can level up or down for the grade levels, but essentially what it would be is 3 45-minute sessions per class. The first session would be like opening games and introduction of scenes and word presentations. The second session would be practicing those scenes. Third session would be filming a performance. And then for those 3 sessions for each grade level, each class, the cost would include, not to the scale of an actual play, but I don't know, cute. And that's a video that they would get, like a film clip that then could be shared with family and, that sort of thing. So, so it would be $35 for each 45-minute session per class, and then 3 classes each. So I tried to do that. I had all this work last year. Well, but that's per class.
What was it per class?
$35
Per
per
class.
session.
Per class.
$35 per session, right?
$35 for each 45-minute session
There are
per
3
class.
sessions.
So it'd be $315. Yeah, that's not right. That's only for like
35
times.
times
Yeah,
Okay.
that's only if it's per grade.
How many classes do you have?
It's for grade level.
There's 18 classes.
There's 18, yeah.
18 classes. I did 35 times 3, right?
Well, if it's 3 classes, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So it's about $1,000, $890.
Can I get a first and a second motion to talk about it and vote?
I'll first.
Does anybody have any questions? Would that be like a fall time activity, so it's not close to?
It could be, yeah. I mean, if we had looked at it for spring, but we think it would be better actually in the fall winter. And that way, again, by the time MCT comes, the kids would have a little bit more experience with what it means and probably be a little more prepared to participate.
And then that film, that 15, 20-minute video, is that like every single class gets their own 15-minute
Yeah.
video?
So it says they work with each class or group and help choose the format, and then over the 3 sessions, they prepare a fun presentation that would be filmed, and that's with each class individually. So each class would have. And all of this is pretty flexible, so I think that if there were classes that wanted to combine, but I suspect that wouldn't be the case. I think with 25 kids, it's probably enough to handle. And then the DI classes could be doing it either in Spanish or in a bilingual setting.
Do you know if there would be any way that for the parents to also see the video? Would there be?
I think that's what it is. The final product is like this great little film clip,
Okay.
and then it's ours to have and share, and
Okay.
everyone gets to participate. So I thought that was really cool.
Awesome.
Share
Yeah.
with families and stuff.
We probably would put them each up on YouTube and create a new, not a folder, I was gonna say folder.
Category or
a new,
something.
category
Yeah.
called,
Yeah.
Beat videos, and then each one would be up there with the teacher name. So you can
And they
Awesome.
do the editing. It says the final filmed clips would be edited together to make a 15 to 20-minute video that can be shared with the whole school, family, and friends.
Awesome.
I thought one of the things that we had discussed early on in the year was potentially trying to do both next year. So doing the beats and then additionally doing something else kind of in the spring.
You would still do MCT in the spring.
Right.
Are you mean another artist in residence kind of
Artists
thing?
in residence.
So doing two
Something,
artists in
yeah.
residence kind of programs next year. Something that we could look at doing next year.
We're still looking. Like, we're still trying to collect and acquire and look at that. We're particularly focused on like some cultural artists in residence. So like looking at authors that come and do workshops, dance performances where they also teach the kids a dance. We've done that a few years ago, like a Peruvian scarf dance and things like that. So we're always trying to collect things. So open to other ideas if you guys want to share. Helps a lot.
So it sounds like the request is to this if it gets voted and then also maybe budget for another thing for next year.
That's what you would like. You would like to see two artists in residence programs next year?
Yes, I mean, if possible. I realize, yeah. Having this in fall, winter, and having something else in spring, early summer. But, yeah.
Anybody else? Raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Motion approved. Next up, well, lastly, I guess. So, well, is anybody, before we vote for the next year's board and end the meeting, does anybody have any questions, comments?
Can I just thank this year's board for all the hours you guys put in? It's a ton of work.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, up next, we have our board nominees. We have Renee going for president, Mike Martinez for vice president, Tracy for secretary, Elena for treasurer again, and Shelby for membership. Let's see. So we got to do each one separately. So for president, for Renee, all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Renee is now your president for the 2025-26 school year. Next up, we have Mike Martinez for vice president. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Mike Martinez, congratulations. Next up, we have Tracy for secretary. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Congratulations, Tracy. Treasurer, Elena. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Congratulations, Elena. Membership, we have Shelby. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Congratulations, Shelby. Our new board for next year. Meeting adjourned. 6:56. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I don't know. I don't want anything to happen to it.
Okay.
So.
Jesse, what is the kinder day? What are the times?
I believe, it's 5:30.